Hi guys, it's Victoria here for Picket Fence Studios, and today's video is going to be bringing you the blooming daisies, the simple blooming daisies. And isn't this set absolutely beautiful? You have the little buds here and all these cascading lovely sketchy daisies, and of course you've got all these fantastic sentiments here in the set. For you, my child, sending our love, delightfully beautiful. Let's celebrate you. Mum and Dad, happy day, congratulations and happy birthday. And I just think that's a fantastic collection there for all sorts of different occasions. Now I am going to be stamping out the daisies today. I'm making a little window card. Now also with this month's launch, Picket Fence Studios have launched this huge set, and it's Beyond Basics A2 scalloped arch window cover plates. And I think you'll agree, you've kind of got every kind of window there you would want. You've got obviously opening windows that you could have here, and you've got this beautiful, this could be a stained glass window, couldn't it? And then you have the layering dies and also the scalloped edge dies. So you could make your card shape this nice scallop shape, or you could just put it on a card, it's up to you. But I think that's a fantastic set. So we're going to be using, I think is it this middle one that I'm going to be using today? I've cut little pieces out already. And Vicky always forgets what she's doing. So we're going to be using this one today with this little backing plate, and then we're using the scalloped die there. So that's what we're going to be using today. So I'll just put that to one side. So I'm going to be using the Picket Fence Studios Hybrid Black Ink today. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp up this wonderful daisy. I'm going to be using some Olo markers today as well, and that before I forget, obviously the stamps do have coordinating dies, so you have all your dies to cut all the sentiments there and that stunning daisy stamp, so you'll have everything in there that you need. So without further ado, I am going to ink up this stamp, and it's gentle tapping. Take the ink pad to the stamp, and it's such a wonderful stamp, this. I love sketchy stamps, and yeah, this really shouted out to me. Although to be fair, everything always does shout out to me, to be honest. We do get spoilt, don't we? So just press firmly down there all across that image, just to make sure you've got everything. And then lift that up, and it doesn't even need a second impression. And you know, usually I always do a second impression, but to be perfectly honest, I am really happy with that image. So I'm going to gently tease that away. So let's bring that off there, because obviously with the Altenew stamping wheel you have that sticky surface which helps keep everything in place. So I'm just going to put that to one side. There we go. And then I like to actually die cut it before I've coloured. So I'm going to place the die on the image here. So let's line it all up so it's all neat and tidy. There we go. And I'm just going to tape that die down, because you don't want that to move in your machine, because if it slips then you've wasted your stamped image. So I'm just going to put this into my die cutting machine. So apologies for any wobble. There we go. Never enough room on our desks, is there? Honestly. So there we go. So we'll move that off there. So then we'll tease this tape away. There we go. And isn't that beautiful? Absolutely stunning. Right, so let's move all these little pieces away. we go. Tidy as we go, Victoria. So now we're going to colour the image, and I've gone with blue tones for this one. I just think it looks so pretty in blues, and I'm going in the centres here with some nice warm yellows and some nice olive greens. So I'm going to zoom the camera in so that you can see what I am doing, and I'm going to go ahead and start some colouring. So I am going to be using the Olo markers, as I've said, and we're going to be using the blue tones. So we're going to be using the B 2.2. We're also going to be using the B 2.4, and we're going to be using the B 2.6. Okay, so I'm going to go in with, I'm going to go in with a lighter shade today. See, Vicky always changes her mind. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go with that lighter colour just on the edges, and I'm going to flick inwards. Okay. And I'll work my way around that petal there. Just a little bit, because as I do tend to work dark to light, so this is a bit different for me. So I'm going to bring that light shade in there. And just that, I love the blues. I don't usually use a lot of blues, to be fair, but when I saw this daisy, I just thought, oh, I just fancy going blue. So then obviously I'm going in with a little bit of dark here, just in the centre, and I will tend to flick that colour out only a little bit. I only want that shadow just to be in those little creases in the middle. So I would just work my way around there with the blue, like so. Then I'm going to go in with the B24, and I'm going to blend then that darker shade out. And I'm not going to go all the way. I'm just going to try and keep a little bit of white in there as well. And I'll probably end up going in and out with the blues until I'm happy with that shade. And then for the centres, I'm going to be going in with the Y12, and then I'm going to be going in with a darker, like a yolky yellow here, with the Y23. And then for the stems, I'm going to be using the Y85 and the Y87. And then for the little buds, I might go in with a little bit of cream and the olive, and I'd be going in with the Y02.2. So I'm just going to go ahead now, and I'm going to have a little colouring in, and then I will catch you at the end where we will put a card together. Okay. and there we have the coloured image finished. So I'm just going to zoom back out, guys, so we can see where we're going with this. So I'm going to bring in a few little elements here that I've already pre-cut. So I'm going to be using the Altenew scoreboard here today, and this is a fantastic little scoreboard. You get a little drawer in the top here for your tool, and it's a fantastic little score tool, I've got to admit. Really do love it. And what I've done is, from the fantastic Beyond Basic scallop windows here, I have cut 2 of the same size. I've placed one on the scoreboard, and then I've just come in and scored a line there at, it's roughly about 4 3/4 there, and that's going to be the hinge for the card. So I'm just going to score that back, and then this will glue to that score tab at the top, so we'll have a tent opening card there. But I just wanted to show you this because it's a fantastic little score board to have handy. It goes up to 4 and it goes up to 8, sorry, 4. It goes up to 8 and 3/8 there in the length, and then it goes across to 6 and 3/8 there. So a handy scoreboard indeed, especially if you like your smaller cards as well. So like I say, we have the card blank there with the score line in. So basically I'm going to put some wet adhesive along this little glue tab, and I always tend to use wet adhesive. Has the longevity. And then I'm going to place that card all lined up there and just hold that until the glue has grabbed. Okay. So we've also cut that gorgeous window frame, and I'm going to be putting some very narrow like shaker tape, we call it here in the UK. I'm not sure what it's called in the US, but I'm sure you have a similar thing where it's a very narrow foam tape. Or you could put small foam pads on if you want to and cut those down. And then we have this backing plate here, and I'm basically just going to ink this up with a little bit of blue ink and a blending brush. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that now. So I've gone in with a light blue here, and I'm just going in, just adding more and more blue until we've built that up. There we go. So you could actually use a cloud stencil if you have a cloud stencil there, and we do have one, but for this one I just kind of went more of a solid blue. And even though the card is blue, it works, you know. So I mean, you could have your card base a different colour if you wanted to, and maybe a yellow would look really nice and bring that yellow out of the flower. But I'm just going in lightly. I don't want too of a dark colour. I want it to kind of look a little bit blotchy, like the sky there, and that will do for that. And then I'm going to add my foam tape here now to the back of this frame. So find my little snips. There we go. And I'm just going to add this along the main part of the die and go down all 3 sections to give it plenty of support. There we go. And put that down there. And then I'm going to go up each side as well, just to give it that little bit more support there. And across here. There we go. And I will put some along the bottom edge here, because I can. I don't like a droopy card, so I do like a card with plenty of support. And with this tape, you can shape it. So you can go round an arch if you wanted to. So I'm just going to snip that there and then come in from the other side and add a little bit more support there with that tape. There we go. So I'm going to take the back off here. Now you could, if you wanted to turn this into a shaker card, you could have placed a piece of acetate on beforehand and had it as a shaker card as well. But we're not going for a shaker today. There we go. And there we go. Nearly there. The trouble, it always sticks to you, doesn't it? Always sticks to you. The red liner tape always sticks to me. I must be full of static. There we go. And that's the last piece off there. So I'm going to place this on the base of that window there, making sure we're all lined up. And if you have a little bit of tape, you can always tuck that in before you press it down. There we go. And we've just got a little blue haze there coming through. So I'm going to place this on the card blank and I'm going to add that with just a wet adhesive. So I'm just going to place a little bit of adhesive there on the back, like so. Making sure we've got a nice border all the way around the card there. There we go. And then we're going to place this onto the card. Now I'm going to be snipping a little bit off the bottom here because I like the way this flower just curves, like it's curving around the top of that frame, but I don't want all this flower in. Now you didn't have to colour this bottom flower, but until you roughly know where it's going to go, I'd suggest maybe colouring part of it. So all I'm going to do is just mark the bottom of that frame there with a pencil. Just a simple pencil line. And then I'm going to get my trusty little guillotine in here, just so I've got a nice crisp clean edge. And I'm just going to go from the pencil mark on one side and the other, and I'm going to snip that off. Okay, so it's level with the bottom of the card. And then I'm going to just add this with wet adhesive. You could add foam and add an extra layer here and there if you wanted to. Shall we do? No, we won't. We will add it flat. We will add it flat. This is Vicky's problem. She can never make her own mind up. So we just need a little bit of glue here and there for that to grab. And then we will just want to line that up with the edge of the frame. And I think that just looks so pretty as it is. There we go. And then of course we're going to add a sentiment to this card. So I'll just place this to one side for a moment. So I've got a piece of black card here. And I'm just going to go over the black card with an anti-static powder there, just so that we don't get any powder stick to where we don't want it. And then I'm going to be using the Wild Clear embossing ink, and I've got my stamp here on a stamping block. I'm just going to gently tap that sentiment, and then we're going to heat emboss this sentiment with some white ink. So gentle tapping there to that sentiment, and then we're going to stamp our sentiment down there, and then we're going to use some white embossing powder just to make that sentiment pop. So I'm just going to get a scrap piece of card there, and then we're going to heat emboss this sentiment. There we go. Just get that little piece off there. You are not required. There we go. Put the lid on before Vicky ends up knocking it over. That is a given. And then I'm just going to heat emboss this, so excuse the noise for one moment. And there we have that lovely pop of white there, which I think just looks lovely. So wait for that just to cool down for a second. And then we have the matching die here to cut that out. So let's line that up nicely. And again, tape it down so that it doesn't move once it's in your die machine. And there we have the lovely sentiment there, all done. And again, I'm going to add a little bit of this shaker tape. As a bit of support on the card. There we go. And I'm just going to place that onto our card. Take the backing off, there we go. And then I sometimes I just go along with a little dollop of glue. And then I'm going to have Delightfully Beautiful just along this section here. So I'm not covering too much up. And I just think that is so pretty. There we go. So to finish, I'm going to add some of these lovely sequin mixes. And this one is called Easter Time. And there's lots of lovely little things in here for shaker cards or for just placing on your card. You've got little, looks like little chickens, and you've got hearts. There's lots of lovely little things in there. So I'm just going to find, I think I'm going to place, oh, what colour are we going to have? Oh dear, Vicky can't make her mind up. What shall we have? Shall we have a couple of clear ones or a couple of green ones? Let's have a look.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Oh, now Alexa's helping me. There we go. So there we'll have another clear one and another smaller one. Now this is where Vicky can never make her mind up because there's so many lovely sequins and bits in these jars. I can never make my mind up. So I think I'm going to have that one there. I don't want too many. I don't want too many, just a little, just a little. So I'm going to place wet adhesive just where I'm going to put them inside the frame. So we're going to have one there and one there. And then we're going to have one there and then one down there. Right, so let's pick that one up. Oh, place this little one here. Oh, they're just so lovely. I could play with these sequins and gems all day long. I love the packaging. I just love the mixes. And there's lots more mixes with this month's launch release because there is so many goodies in this month's release. It was very hard for me to pick what I wanted to use, but this just popped to me straight away. So this is my simple little make today. I absolutely adore these windows. I think you're going to see these used quite often, to be fair. They are lovely, and I just think they're a fantastic card blank in themselves, you know. And obviously we're going to be making all sorts of different things with these windows as time goes on. But I just wanted to share this lovely card with you today. I also want to say thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure to have your company. If you need to know all the things that I've used in today's video, the items will be listed in the description, so you can see there what we've used today. And I just want to say thank you ever so much, and I hope to be back with you again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.